You need to stop what you're doing right now, because the most important leak of the year just dropped, and it changes everything we thought we knew about DJI's plans. We are barely into December, and just like every past cycle in consumer tech, the closer we get to launch day, the more leaks start spilling out from every corner of the internet. Honestly, nothing shocks me anymore, because this is exactly how tech launches unfold. However, that said, there is something incredibly energizing about watching the rumor mill spin itself into a storm, especially when the leaks start to form bigger, undeniable patterns instead of just random noise. This time, the spotlight is firmly on DJI's most interesting compact camera evolution yet, the DJI Pocket 4. This feels less like a simple annual refresh and more like the quiet reinvention of their smallest content creation powerhouse. Stick with me, because what I am about to tell you will make you rethink your entire camera setup for 2026. The star conversation here, the one dominating every forum and Discord server, is the dual sensor system. We have all heard the word dual sensor for months, but now that the details are turning more specific, the implications feel much bigger than we first imagined. One of my reliable sources tells me the main imaging sensor is rumored to be a massive 1-inch, 50-megapixel CMOS sensor. This is a major generational jump that immediately changes the credibility of this device for still photography. 50 megapixels isn't just a resolution number on a spec sheet. It is freedom. It is cropping flexibility in post-production. It allows for sharper thumbnails for video creators. It enables oversampled 4K video that looks incredibly crisp and potentially oversampled 6K as well. If DJI wants this camera to stand out for the next 5 years, this sensor upgrade is their masterstroke on the chessboard. But then comes the second sensor, the 1/1.3-inch one, which is where the most creative speculation has been happening. Community discussions on Reddit, Twitter, and pro-creator forums suggest this secondary CMOS chip could be using a more square-dominant capture ratio. This is possibly designed to optimize vertical and hybrid aspect ratio shooting flexibility. This theory aligns suspiciously well with DJI's strategy of future-proof, multi-form factor recording as seen with the Osmo Action 5 and their standalone 360 capture designs. If this square sensor rumor holds true, we could be seeing better portrait frame video capture, better social media first workflows, and better open gate style capture options inside a device not much bigger than your palm. That shifts this camera from being just a walking vlog device into a filmmaker's silent, multi-purpose notebook that fits in your pocket. And then we have the strange little extra display that has everyone confused. Almost everyone dismissed two quickly leaked images from known DJI insiders and tech hardware visual trackers. These images show us a rectangular status window alongside the main flip screen. Andrea from Photo Rumors suggested this is not a second preview screen, but a dedicated status window. And that theory makes real ergonomic sense because it echoes how pro-level quick monitoring systems behave in the real world. Imagine shooting with the Pocket 4 on a ski slope, or walking through the Paris metro, or filming a documentary inside tight spaces. You don't want two preview screens distracting you. You want smart, glanceable features, battery percentage, frame rate, audio metering, remaining storage. Maybe even active stabilization mode indicators or 32-bit float audio status visibility. A display like that lets you glance down without breaking the moment, without flipping anything around, and without risking the shot. Honestly, DJI adding that window shows that the engineering team is trying to solve real creator problems, not just marketing problems. Battery life no longer feels like a guess either, because leaked charging dock labels point to a 1545 mAh battery. This is roughly 20% more capacity than the Pocket 3 could handle, and that extra capacity wasn't just a choice. It was a necessity. Bigger sensors and AI processing chips need more energy, especially if we get features like 8K video, 4K at 120 frames per second, or internal raw capture. All of those require time, power, and endurance. This battery increase tells me recording endurance might realistically stretch past 140 m. Inutes, depending on resolution settings and thermal limits. A lot of people miss that battery specs aren't just a marketing buzzword. They're a pacing spec. You can talk about 4K or 8K all day, but battery determines your real-world freedom. Users who shoot wedding videos, exploration vlogs, or even low-light night stories know that 20% more battery could mean one extra interview, one extra landscape sweep, or surviving until sunrise on a long night shoot. Pricing is growing more consistent in the leaks as well. A range of $699 to $799 for the base configuration seems to be the recurring number whispered across retail rumor trackers, performance expectation boards, and street pricing trend analysts. If we compare that to past launches in DJI's product ecosystem, this price point echoes how they've gradually pushed compact camera series into prosumer territory without stepping into cinema rig price zones. This isn't a Red Komodo challenger or a Sony FX3 competitor. This is meant to live inside backpacks, on bicycles, strapped to helmets, inside vlogger kits, or clipped into chest rigs. So, DJI keeping it under $800 feels intelligent, but also intentional. Now, let's talk about the chip situation because this matters more than any megapixel number. Rumors suggest DJI could adopt an ARM-based mobile SoC, system-on-chip system. This would combine AI neural cores, GPU cores, ISP image signal processing cores, and storage controllers onto one main board design with reduced internal communication latency. This approach echoes the performance philosophy behind Apple's M1 chips, which integrate neural core computational layers and video encoding modules directly on the chip instead of using separated buses or external memory blocks. If DJI truly implements a single-source architecture in this camera, which insiders keep hinting at, the result would be whisper-fast request processing. We are talking about smoother autofocus tracking, instant room detect awareness, better battery efficiency, and compatibility with advanced predictive modes. Imagine auto-queuing your next shot mode, action priority prediction, or even scenario adaptive stabilization. That also means Siri-style real-time voice assistant responsiveness, but from DJI's own AI ecosystem version, which the company has quietly been nurturing across their transmission algorithm processing and Creator Hub strategy documents. The autofocus potential on this camera might be DJI's loudest, silent competitive roar. Leaked spec comparisons suggest the inclusion of improved human pose tracking, facial recognition estimation, and spatial behavior prediction across subjects and vehicles. If we look at Canon's eye-tracking autofocus on the R6 Mark II, or Sony's real-time tracking on the A7RV, or Nikon's 3D subject tracking on the Z6 III, we notice that the camera AI world has shifted from simply tracking faces to tracking intent. Where's the subject about to move? What is it about to do? What direction is the story going in? DJI implementing a system that's smart inside the Pocket 4 could mark a moment where their compact cameras stop being second camera devices and start being intelligent first camera devices built for the future. The thermal system might see a leap too, because early rumors and Pocket 3 teardown posts all pointed back to one main limitation: thermal endurance inside compact bodies. DJI thermal endurance is legendary, but rumor chatter suggests they might be rebuilding the internal heat pipeline. We are hearing about small thermal chamber guides, micro-miniature vapor chamber lining, or passive heat pipes for better sensor dissipation and airflow mapping. This is vital if we are talking about long-clip 8K or high frame rate panoramic capture. Environmental durability might see an upgrade too, because DJI designed this line for adventurers. We've heard mentions of stronger mesh grip casing, better weather resistance ratings, higher humidity tolerance, and possibly enhanced carry cases or external ring expanders for mic and accessory rigging. That means DJI might be preparing not just a camera, but a field recording solution platform with thermal class endurance, wireless stability, social media class capture flexibility, post-production cropping freedom, and ecosystem intelligence integration. But let's not forget the cultural storm happening around DJI's U.S. market presence and looming political uncertainties regarding FCC restrictions. future retie, L stability, tax shifts, distribution regulation, timing windows, and possible market strategy adjustments are all factors. Sometimes release delays don't come from engineering. They come from politics, distribution territories, patent windows, retailer alignment, or holiday sales strategy. But one thing is certain. DJI doesn't leak promotional product label plates or warehouse batch hints unless the product is weeks away. DJI always deploys strategies silently, then floods retailers. Stocks quietly run low, and engineering schedules align suspiciously well with marketplace consumer timelines. So, whether the Pocket 4 drops on December 16th, slips into January 2026, or becomes part of a broader holiday ecosystem rollout, the engineering signals, battery leaks, and sensor chatter tell me one thing. This camera is DJI preparing to claim the compact AI hybrid storytelling video capture ecosystem infrastructure battlefield again. Not through a loud expo, but through a quiet deployment wave, much like what Apple historically does with surprise resets. The scary part isn't the leaks. The scary part is how credible they are starting to look together. When you zoom out, this dual sensor setup, ARM-based latency-optimized processor, status window, quick glance display, bigger 1,545 mAh recording endurance battery, enhanced autofocus pose tracking, neural core integration, and holiday season distribution timing forms a bigger story. A story that suggests DJI doesn't want to refresh the compact camera market. It wants to reshape how creators capture stories entirely. The question now isn't just spec-driven. It's lifestyle-driven. The Pocket 4 could become the device that determines whether you shoot your next story handheld, vertical, stabilized, raw, 360 stitched, or cinematic oversampled full width. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the leaks and want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video with your creator friends who are thinking about upgrading their gear so they don't buy the old model by mistake. And hit that bell icon so you're the first to know when the official announcement drops. Honestly, if these leaks about the dual sensor system and the 1-inch 50MP main sensor are true, the DJI Pocket 4 is going to be an absolute game changer for solo creators. The ability to shoot high-quality stills alongside video in such a tiny form factor eliminates the need to carry a separate mirrorless camera for thumbnails or B-roll photos. The addition of the status screen is a brilliant pro move that shows DJI listens to actual filmmakers who need utility over flashiness. While the potential price hike to nearly $800 is steep, for the amount of tech packed into this gimbal-stabilized stick, it effectively replaces a camera, a lens, a gimbal, and a microphone setup. It's the ultimate run-and-gun tool.